Hey everyone, and welcome to this deep dive where we're going into the Amazon rainforest. But
Ooh,
get this, we're bringing AI with us.
sounds pretty
It
cool.
does sound like a sci-fi movie, but trust me, this is really happening.
Yeah.
We'll be looking at a paper today called a Retrieval-Augmented Generation-based large language model benchmarked on a novel dataset.
You're right, this is not your typical rainforest trip.
No,
This paper is really looking at how AI can help us learn more about the Amazon's biodiversity and all that amazing knowledge from indigenous people.
it's really incredible to think about all the knowledge these communities have, passed down for generations.
Right.
They're like a living library about the rainforest, but so much of it is at risk of being lost.
Exactly, and that's where AI comes in.
Okay.
This paper focuses on a technique called Retrieval-Augmented Generation, or RE for short.
Letter break. Okay.
Imagine giving an AI like a super-powered research assistant that can go through tons of data and pull out the most important stuff right away.
So like giving AI a crash course on the Amazon.
Exactly. And what's even cooler is that they're exploring the modular design of RAG.
Modular design.
Think of it like building with Legos, where you can swap out different parts of the AI, like the language model or what's called the embedding layer.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
Embedding layers. I'm not sure I get that.
Okay, so imagine you're trying to teach AI about jaguars, right?
Yeah. Jaguars in the Amazon.
An embedding layer is like translating the word jaguar into a code that the AI can understand.
A code, like a secret language.
Kind of, it captures the meaning of the word in a way the computer can process.
So it's like giving the AI a dictionary, but instead of definitions, it gets these codes.
Yeah, you got it. Now, in this study, they used two different brains for the AI GPT and Palm.
Okay, two different brains.
They also tested embedding layers from both OpenAI and Palm, so it's like giving the AI different sets of tools.
I'm picturing one AI with fancy screwdrivers
Yeah.
and the other with a Swiss Army knife.
Exactly, different tools for different jobs, right?
Right.
And they also looked at how the AI did with and without extra context. You know how sometimes having background information helps you understand something better?
Yeah, for sure.
Same with AI.
So it's like testing if the AI can pass a pop quiz or if it needs to do some extra reading first.
Exactly. What did they find?
Yeah, what happened?
Well, when Palm was using its own data and embedding, it did really well in situations where it didn't get any extra information.
So it was like, I got this. I don't need any help.
Yeah, it was a bit of a solo superstar.
Wow.
But things changed when they added context.
Oh.
In those scenarios, GPT, when paired with OpenAI's embedding, did the best. It shows that sometimes having the right background info is super important for understanding complex topics.
Like having all the puzzle pieces versus just a jumbled mess.
Yeah,
Sometimes you need a little help.
exactly. And here's the really interesting part. Sometimes mismatched parts actually worked better.
What?
Palm, when paired with OpenAI's embedding, did better than its own pairing in some tests.
That's so weird.
It's like finding out your favorite chocolate goes great with spicy chili peppers.
That is wild. Seems like there's still so much we don't know about AI, and that's what makes this research so cool.
Definitely highlights the need for experimenting and finding the best tools for each job. It's not one size fits all.
Okay, so we've talked about RAG modular AI and some surprising results. But how does this connect to our listener?
Well, this research suggests a future where AI systems are really tailored to specific needs. Instead of like generic models, we're moving towards AI that can be customized like for understanding and preserving indigenous knowledge.
So instead of a one-size-fits-all AI, we might have one specifically designed to translate a language, or another one that knows about medicinal plants from traditional knowledge.
Yeah, that's the idea.
That's amazing. What else does this mean for the future of AI?
It points to a world where AI isn't just about numbers or tasks. It's about connecting with different ways of knowing and bridging the gap between science and traditional knowledge.
So it's like we're equipping explorers not with maps, but with algorithms and data to uncover hidden knowledge.
That's a great way to put it. And it's not just about exploration, it's about understanding. Imagine an AI that can help us see how everything in the rainforest is connected, or one that can unlock the secrets of traditional medicine.
This is seriously blowing my mind. But before we get too carried away, we need to also talk about the responsibilities that come with such powerful technology.
You're absolutely right. The potential is huge, but we need to make sure it's used ethically, especially when dealing with something as sensitive as cultural knowledge. We'll dive deeper into that in the next part of our deep dive. But for now, let's take a moment to absorb all this incredible information about RAG and what it could mean for the Amazon rainforest.
You know, when I first heard about this research, I was skeptical. I thought, how can AI possibly grasp something as complex as human culture? But now I'm starting to see the potential. It's like we're holding a key to a whole new world of understanding, and it's up to us to use it wisely. Stay tuned for part 2 of our deep dive, where we'll tackle those ethical considerations head-on and explore what it all means for the future of AI and the preservation of indigenous knowledge. Welcome back to our deep dive into the Amazon rainforest, where AI is taking us on this incredible journey.
It really is an amazing combo. But as we go deeper, we also need to think about the responsibilities that come with this kind of technology, especially with something as sensitive as cultural knowledge.
It's like being given something super valuable. You wouldn't just like toss it around, right?
Right.
We handle it carefully.
We need to treat indigenous knowledge with that same level of respect. It's not just data points. It's part of a living culture and history.
So it's not just about getting information. It's about building relationships, understanding context,
Yeah.
and making sure that the people who have this knowledge are really involved.
Absolutely. They need to be heard, and their views need to be part of everything from collecting data to how the AI is designed.
It's a good reminder that tech should be used to help people, not take advantage of them, and it needs to benefit those communities.
Exactly. And that also means being aware of the potential problems.
Okay.
Even with the best intentions, we could misinterpret or misrepresent their knowledge.
It's like translating a poem.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get the basic meaning, but the feeling and cultural stuff gets lost.
That's a great way to put it. AI can be a powerful tool, but it can't replace humans. We have to know its limits and use it together with human expertise and sensitivity.
So it's not about replacing human understanding, but adding to it. It's about AI working with communities to help them preserve their knowledge and share it safely.
Exactly. And that means being open about how the tech works, getting feedback, and always improving based on what the communities tell us.
I'm curious, what can our listener do to be responsible with this technology? It's easy to get excited about AI, but we need to think about the impact.
That's a great question. One of the most important things is to think critically about the information. Don't just believe everything AI tells you.
Right.
Ask questions like, where did the data come from? Who made this AI? And what biases might be there?
So go deeper than the surface and really understand the context. It's like reading a news article. You don't just read the headline, you think about who wrote it and what their perspective is.
Exactly. And with AI and cultural knowledge, it's even more important to get different perspectives. Read things written by Indigenous authors, listen to podcasts with Indigenous voices and support groups that are helping them in the tech world.
It's about making sure everyone is included and that the benefits of this technology are shared fairly. We need to make sure AI brings people together, not divides them.
You got it. It's about using technology for good and making sure it's developed ethically, putting people first, especially those who haven't always been treated fairly.
It's amazing to think that we can combine AI with the wisdom of Indigenous communities to create a better future. It's like weaving together ancient knowledge and new technology.
It's a powerful vision, and it needs ongoing discussion, collaboration, and a willingness to learn from each other. As we keep exploring AI, it's so important to remember these ethical points, making sure tech helps people and not the other way around.
Okay, so we've talked about respect, collaboration, and responsible development when it comes to AI and Indigenous knowledge. We've talked about thinking about potential biases and using the technology to empower, not exploit. What else should we be thinking about?
One big challenge is balancing keeping cultural knowledge safe with sharing it widely. How do we make this knowledge available to the world without hurting the communities that own it?
That's a tough one. It's like sharing a family heirloom. You want others to appreciate it, but you also want to protect it.
Exactly. We need to find solutions that respect both preservation and sharing. Maybe that means digital archives controlled by the communities or new tech that allows for secure sharing.
It's a really interesting challenge, and it needs collaboration, new ideas, and a real focus on ethics. It's not just the technology itself, but how we use it and what values guide us.
You're right. The future of AI is not set. It depends on what we do, what we talk about, and what actions we take. By having these conversations, asking tough questions, and working together, we can make sure AI makes the world better.
It's a call to action for all of us. As we explore this new world of AI and its potential, let's do it with open minds and a commitment to using it for good. But before we wrap up this part of our deep dive, let's recap some of the key things we've talked about.
We've talked about respecting Indigenous knowledge, making sure those communities are involved, and being aware of biases and what AI can't do.
We've also talked about being transparent, accountable, and making sure the tech benefits everyone.
And as we go forward, remember that the future of AI is in our hands.
Now get ready for the final part of our deep dive, where we'll take everything we've learned and explore what it means for the future of AI and our understanding of the world. Welcome back to the deep dive. We've been on this journey with AI exploring the Amazon, and now it's time to look ahead.
Yeah, we've covered so much from Argy to all the ethical stuff with indigenous knowledge. Where do we go from here? What does this mean for the future of AI culture and the planet?
It's like we've seen this whole new world of what's possible, but now we need to figure out how to handle it responsibly.
Exactly. This research is just the beginning. It shows us what we can do, but we decide how to use this tech and what kind of future we build.
One thing that gets me really excited is using AI to bridge the gap between science and traditional wisdom.
Hmm.
Imagine combining the power of AI with the knowledge that indigenous people have about the rainforest.
It's not about replacing one with the other, but finding ways to bring them together, creating something even better.
Like a team of explorers, some with the latest gadgets and others with maps and compasses working together to uncover the rainforest's secrets.
Exactly. Each perspective has its own strengths, and by combining them, we get a deeper understanding.
And it's not just about the rainforest itself. It's about learning from indigenous people, their sustainable practices, their medicine, their way of life.
There's so much we can learn if we're respectful. Imagine AI helping us translate their languages, record their traditions, and share their knowledge in a way that respects them.
Like a digital bridge, connecting cultures and making sure this knowledge is never lost.
And it's not just about preserving the past. It's about using this knowledge for today's problems like climate change, biodiversity loss, and inequality. Indigenous people know how to live sustainably, and AI can help us use that knowledge in new ways.
Like finding a hidden source of wisdom and using it to help the future.
I love that image. And that's the key. AI isn't just for analysis or automation, it's for connection understanding and building a future that's both modern and rooted in tradition.
It's about realizing that we're all connected from the tiniest creatures in the rainforest to our technology. Our actions matter.
We have to use this technology carefully respecting nature and the cultures that live there. AI should help, not hurt.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to challenge our listeners. The future is in our hands. What can you do to make sure AI is used for good?
Stay curious, keep learning, but also be critical. Ask questions about how AI is being used, who it benefits, and who it might be leaving out.
Support groups that are working to make sure AI is ethical and responsible. And most importantly, use your voice. Share what you've learned, talk about the future of AI, and fight for a future that is both amazing and fair.
Remember, we create the future together. Thanks for joining us on this journey into AI and the Amazon rainforest.